Beberapa waktu lalu, dunia dikejutkan oleh Presiden Donald Trump yang memutuskan untuk memindahkan kedutaan besar Amerika Serikat di Israel dari ibu kota Tel Aviv ke Yerusalem yang oleh Palestina dianggap sebagai ibu kota negaranya.
We will move the American embassy to the eternal capital of the Jewish people, Jerusalem.
Yerusalem adalah kota suci tiga agama yang baru sejak abad 20 menjadi pusat konflik antara Israel dan Palestina. Padahal, selama 3.000 tahun sebelumnya, kedua bangsa tersebut hidup rukun bertetangga di sana. Apa yang sebenarnya terjadi? Pindahnya kedubes Amerika dari Tel Aviv ke Yerusalem tentu saja berpotensi memicu kembali panasnya konflik di Timur Tengah.
Actually, the kiss of death to the two-state solution, because Jerusalem is at the very heart of the two-state solution.
Perang Dunia Ketiga adalah antara sekutu Zionisme Barat melawan negara-negara Islam. Skenarionya adalah agama-agama melemah dan runtuh, digantikan dengan ajaran penyembah iblis Lucifer di bawah New World Order. Ini adalah rekaman suara testimoni Aaron Russo tentang pembicaraannya dengan Nick Rockefeller 11 bulan sebelum terjadinya 9/11.
I got a call one day from an attorney woman I knew, and she said, "Would you like to meet one of the Rockefellers?" I said, "Sure, I'd love to." And we became friends, and he began to divulge a lot of things to me. So he said to me one night, he said that there's going to be an event there. And out of that event, you're going to see we're going to go into Afghanistan, so we can run pipelines from the Caspian Sea. We're going to go into Iraq to take the oil and establish a base in the Middle East. And I said you're going to see guys going into caves looking for looking for people that they're never going to find. You know, he was laughing about the fact that you have this war on terror. There's no real enemy. He's talking about how by having this war on terror, you can never win it, because it's an eternal war, and so you can always keep taking people's liberties away. And I said, how are you going to convince people that this war is real? He said, but the media can convince everybody it's real. I mean, you know, it's just that you keep talking about things, you keep saying it over and over and over again, and eventually people believe it. You know, you created the Federal Reserve in 1913 through lies. You create 9/11, which is another lie. Through 9/11, you're fighting a war on terror, and now all of a sudden you go into Iraq, which was another lie, and now they're going to do Iran, you know, and it's all one thing leading to another, leading to another, leading to another. Now, I would say, what are you doing this for? What's the point of this thing? You have all the money in the world you ever want, you have all the power. I said, you know, you're hurting people, it's not a good thing. And he would say, what do you care about the people for? Take care of yourself and you take care of your family. And then I said, so what are the ultimate goals here? So the ultimate goal is to get everybody in this world chipped with the RFID chip, and have all money be on those chips and everything on those chips. And if anybody wants to protest what we do or violate what we want, we just turn off that chip.
Sebelum itu, ada lagi seorang pahlawan yang berusaha membongkar rencana 9/11 secara terbuka kepada publik 6 bulan sebelum kejadian. Ia adalah William Cooper, dan ia dibunuh 1 bulan setelah peristiwa 9/11. Berikut adalah rekaman suara Bill Cooper yang berusaha mengingatkan bangsa Amerika bahwa akan ada kejadian besar menjadikan Osama bin Laden sebagai kambing hitam yang sesungguhnya adalah master plan Illuminati.
Can you believe what you have been seeing on CNN today, ladies and gentlemen? Can you believe it? Supposedly, a CNN reporter found Osama bin Laden, took a television camera crew with him, went into Osama bin Laden's hideout, interviewed him and his top leadership, his top lieutenants and colonels and generals in their hideout. This is a CNN reporter with a camera crew. And he came out and told everybody, within 3 weeks, Osama bin Laden is going to attack the United States and Israel. Now, don't you think that's kind of strange, folks? You see, because the largest intelligence apparatus in the world, with the biggest budget in the history of the world, has been looking for Osama bin Laden for years and years and years and can't find him. A reporter from CNN and his little camera crew got in to Osama bin Laden's secret hideout. And if you believe it, you are one of the stupidest jerks that ever lived on the face of this earth. And whatever is going to happen that they're going to blame on Osama bin Laden, don't you even believe it. When in hell are all you people going to wake up?
Berikutnya adalah apa yang Anda lihat dalam sejarah. 911 menandakan era baru dalam peperangan, perang melawan teror. Amerika dan sekutu adalah pahlawan, polisi dunia. Agama difitnah sebagai teroris. Begitulah bagaimana elit global memutuskan untuk perang. Alasannya, negara-negara Timur Tengah adalah sumber terjadinya konflik. Padahal, merekalah yang menciptakan konflik. Berikut adalah cuplikan wawancara dengan Michael Schur, mantan petinggi CIA yang mengepalai CIA unit Osama bin Laden. Dengarkan apa kesaksiannya tentang siapa musuh Amerika yang sebenarnya, serta kaitannya dengan Arab Saudi dan Israel.
Washington's enemy is an enemy that doesn't exist. We're fighting an Islamic enemy that Washington believes is out to kill us because we have elections, because we're free, because we have women in the workplace. It's an enemy that doesn't exist. It didn't exist when bin Laden was alive. It doesn't exist now. America is being attacked because of its foreign policy in the Muslim world, because of its support for Israel, because of its support for the Saudi police state, because of its presence on the Arab Peninsula.
Konflik mulai diciptakan sejak Rothschild membeli Yerusalem. Ini adalah bukti berita koran langka tanggal 28 November 1829, hampir 200 tahun yang lalu. Kita di Indonesia masih zaman perang Diponegoro. Rothschild sudah berusaha untuk membeli Yerusalem. Pertama, elit global membuat rencana politik The Greater Israel, memperbesar wilayah Israel dengan mencaplok negara-negara tetangga. Kedua, dari peta ini bisa Anda lihat negara-negara sekitar Israel yang akan dijadikan korban, termasuk Irak dan Syria. Ketiga, sama seperti elit global merekayasa 9/11 untuk dijadikan alasan mencaplok Irak dan Afghanistan. Babak berikutnya, mereka butuh alasan baru untuk mencaplok Syria, Irak, dan akhirnya Iran. Maka diciptakanlah ISIS, mendanai tentara-tentara bayaran untuk jadi teroris berkedok agama. Masyarakat diracuni dengan kebencian antar umat beragama, bahkan membunuh yang satu agama karena beda pendapat. ISIS diciptakan untuk membantu proyek The Greater Israel, meruntuhkan Syria, Irak, dan akhirnya Iran untuk memperlebar pengaruh Israel. Tak ada hubungannya dengan agama.
In fact, tell me this, why has ISIS never once, or Al-Nusra Front, or Al-Qaeda, not once have they attacked Israel? In fact, ISIS militants are getting medical attention in the Golan Heights and in Israel itself.
Aliansi sekutu di Timur Tengah, menurut mantan CIA kepala unit bin Laden tadi, secara mengejutkan dan tak banyak diekspos adalah persekutuan antara Amerika, Arab Saudi, dan Israel.
Because of its support for Israel, because of its support for the Saudi police state, because of its presence on the Arab Peninsula.
Tak ada hubungannya dengan agama. Di sisi lain, secara politis, terbentuk aliansi antara Iran dan Syria yang merupakan sasaran ISIS dengan Rusia. Ini soal politik, bukan soal agama. Ada beberapa konflik lain seperti Amerika dan Korea Utara, tapi pengaruhnya terhadap negara-negara lain tak cukup untuk membuat perang dunia. Dari kacamata intelijen, yang paling memungkinkan untuk mewujudkan perang dunia ketiga adalah konflik di Timur Tengah ini. Aliansi yang terbentuk sangat cukup untuk mewujudkan perang dunia ketiga. Yang dibutuhkan hanyalah pemicu.
We will move the American embassy to the eternal capital of the Jewish people, Jerusalem.
One thing, I don't know why. It doesn't even matter how hard you try. Keep that in mind. I designed this rhyme to remind myself.
Musuh kita bukan ras, agama, atau bangsa tertentu. Musuh kita bukan pemerintah Amerika, Indonesia, dan lain-lain. Musuh kita adalah elit global. Jangan takut pada kekuatan yang zolim, seberapapun kaya dan berkuasanya mereka. Lakukan ini semua untuk Tuhan yang menciptakan Anda. Jangan pikirkan berhasil atau tidak, sebab yang dinilai bukan hasilnya, tapi yang dinilai adalah amal perbuatan kita semua.
What we do in life echoes in eternity.
Salam People Power.